Lucamus Prime here, so it's time for a next episode of a movie that didn't need a sequel. And in today's video, it's going to be, for this time, another animated film, a film from my childhood, which means a lot to me because it's a film I loved to go when I was a kid. This is also an animated film by Disney in what is, in my opinion, their best era for animated films, of course, which is the Renaissance era. And this film, of course, which is part of that era, which I absolutely love, and in my opinion did not need sequels, and to me works best on its own as one movie, is none other than 1992's Aladdin. So, you guys are, of course, going to ask me what are my thoughts on Aladdin. Well, I think, just like a lot of the Disney Renaissance films, this film, to me, is an absolute masterpiece. I regard it as one of the best animated films ever made, and I think it's an absolute masterpiece from start to finish, with lots of really likeable characters who are a lot of fun to watch, and with great performances in it from people such as Scott Weinger as Aladdin, and also as well Linda Larkin as Jasmine. And let's also not forget, probably to me the best part of the film, which is definitely my favourite comedian, Robin Williams, as the genie. The genie is just absolutely hilarious and just absolutely incredible comic relief for this film, and Robin Williams absolutely nailed as the genie. Definitely my favourite voice role of his. I also, when it comes to antagonists, definitely really love Jonathan Freeman as the villain Jafar. Jafar is one of my favourite Disney villains of all time, and I think Jonathan Freeman did a really amazing job playing Jafar. And I also definitely love legendary Gilbert Gottfried as the voice of Iago, who is of course the parrot sidekick to Jafar. Gilbert Gottfried is someone who always makes me laugh in everything he's in, and this is definitely no exception. Iago always been my all-time favourite role of his for that reason, because of how hilarious he was as him. And there's other great supporting cast in this as well, such as, for example, Douglas Seal as the Sultan, and also one of my favourite voice actors of all time, Frank Welker, as the voice of Abu, who is Aladdin's pet monkey, and also as well the voice of Raja, who is Jasmine's tiger, and also a Cave of Wonders as well. And the film has a really amazing story as well, and I also think it has a really amazing ending because at the end of the film, Jafar, of course, ends up being bound to a new lamp, and he ends up trapped inside it with Iago going with him, and the genie then throws the lamp far away into the desert, which banishes Jafar and Iago to a Cave of Wonders for 10,000 years. And this allows the city of Agrabah to then return to normal, and the genie encourages Aladdin to use his third wish to regain his royal title and legally marry Jasmine. But Aladdin instead keeps his promise and frees the genie. And the Sultan realises that Aladdin is so noble, so he then changes the law to allow Jasmine to marry whoever she chooses. And then the genie bids the group of fond farewell and leaves to explore the world, where Aladdin and Jasmine then start a new life together. So that was just a beautiful ending right there. And I did not see any sign of sequel baiting whatsoever in this ending at all. Just a happy note for all the characters, happy ending right there for them. However, we unfortunately got a sequel to this film, which was direct-to-video, and many of these Disney classics I've covered in the series suffered the same fate where they got direct-to-video sequels, and unfortunately, a vast majority of them that I've watched have absolutely sucked. And unfortunately, when it comes to a first sequel Aladdin got, it's unfortunately joined those films as having a bad sequel, because the first of the sequels, of course, to me, is the absolute worst Aladdin film that I've seen so far. And that, of course, is none other than 1994's The Return of Jafar, as it's marketed as. Because, get this, guys, they don't even have Aladdin in the title for some reason, which doesn't make any sense in what's supposed to be a sequel to Aladdin, the first movie. Or I like to pretend there's only the one movie. This sequel is one of the worst animated film sequels I've ever had the misfortune of seeing in my life, ever. And I think it does tons of things which makes a sequel not good. Just any sequel not good, really. For example, it does the absolutely horrible cliche of bringing back a villain and making their defeat in a previous film pointless, because, as the title suggests, this film somehow brings back Jafar. And I think that was just a really dumb move, because it made no sense how, of course, like, Jafar and Iago were able to escape a lamp like that. Like, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever, because this sequel takes place 1 year after the first film, not 10,000 years. Like, that is just really stupid in my opinion, really. And also as well, another thing about this film I also did not like was also as well a recasting that happened too for a character, because unfortunately, Robin Williams did not come back for his sequel as the Genie. Instead, they got Dan Castellaneta to voice the Genie, who would later go on to play him in things like TV shows and video games, etc. And personally, guys, I unfortunately regard the Genie as my least favourite role I've seen from Dan Castellaneta. Don't get me wrong, I love him as a voice actor for things like The Simpsons and other things too. But as the Genie, I think he's a horrendous miscast because he sounds nothing like Robin Williams, and he literally just sounds like Homer Simpson as if he was a Genie, not Robin Williams. So I personally think he was a massive miscast and one of the worst I've ever seen in movie history, unfortunately. Which breaks my heart because how much I love him on The Simpsons. And the film, in my opinion, is also really boring as well. And I also think the animation is also terrible, which could be said for lots of these direct-to-video sequels because of the low budget. And because of that low budget, the animation, this was horrendous. Like, I cannot believe this film is 2 years older than this sequel and it has much more better animation, which is so stunning. Like, that's just ridiculous. So, I personally think this sequel was just stupid and just horrible, and it ruined the great ending of the first movie and made it absolutely pointless. So, I was very angry about that. Like, I could not believe we had to do this. So, all I can say is that, you know, this sequel was stupid and pointless and was not needed whatsoever. Then, after this, we then got another direct-to-video sequel, which of course was from 1996, 2 years later, which is Aladdin and the King of Thieves. So thankfully I had Aladdin in the title, not just, you know, King of Thieves. And when it comes to a sequel, I think it's just decent at best, really. It's definitely, in my opinion, much better than the second movie, don't get me wrong. But still, I think it's just decent at best, really. And my favourite thing about this sequel is that thankfully it brings back Robin Williams as the Genie, which I was very happy about. So I'm so glad we're going back to this and not Dan Castellaneta. Because personally, I think that version of the Genie in the second film was horrendous and nowhere near as funny or as entertaining as Robin Williams' version at all. And when it comes to this third film, the things I liked about it was I love Robin's return as the Genie, and I also like how thankfully it doesn't bring back Jafar again, which I really appreciated. So it thankfully didn't do a cliche, bring back a villain, make her defeat pointless. And I did also as well like John Rhys Davies when it comes to the additional cast members as Cassim. I thought he was good as him what he was given. One of my favourite roles was John Rhys Davies. He's a great actor. But when it comes to things I didn't really like about a film, though, it's revealed in this film, of course, that Aladdin's got a father who's still alive. And guess what? It's Cassim. So, personally, I think they could execute that reveal a lot better, really, to be honest, because obviously in the first film, Aladdin doesn't even mention he's got a father, does he, really? So I kind of feel they dropped in Cassim out of nowhere in this third film. And I think the pacing also needed a bit of work as well, and animation, of course, as well, because it was direct video, was nowhere near as stunning as this film's animation. So I personally think Aladdin was best left on its own, really, because I think this third film was decent at best, really. Simply because it didn't really make sense to me, of course, how Aladdin's now got a father, you know, a long-lost father. That, to me, was just pretty confusing, really. But I just think the third film was decent at best, really. So, compared to the 10 out of 10 that I gave to the first movie, I give the second film an absolutely horrendous 2 out of 10, because I think really bad, in my opinion. And the third film I'll probably give maybe a decent score of 7 out of 10. And if you guys are going to be asking me, will I be watching the TV series? Maybe, I'm not sure, to be honest. Because I've not really had a chance to see these TV shows based on these Renaissance era films. But I might have a chance to hopefully one day, maybe. And also as well, if you guys are always going to asking me, will I be watching the live action remake from 2019? No chance. There is no way I'm ever going to touch that film because I've heard nothing but bad news about it and I have zero interest at all in watching it. I am not interested whatsoever. So I will definitely not be watching a remake. I will stick to the one Aladdin movie, just this one, really. And if I see King of Thieves, maybe I'll get it on Blu-ray, maybe, because like I said, it's more tolerable than Return of Jafar. Return of Jafar, I'm never going to own, because I personally hate that movie. I'm not going to buy that, absolutely not. So, anyway, guys, this is me doing the next episode of Movie Didn't Need a Sequel. I was saying why, in my opinion, Aladdin is an example of a Disney animated film that did not need sequels. So, you know the drill, guys. Be sure to give this video a like. Also, be sure to let us know in the comments what you guys think of Aladdin. Do you need sequels or not? Let us know what you think. Also, be sure to join Team Prime by pressing subscribe to come in the future, and I'll see you all later.